Good evening, everyone. We're going to call the meeting to order. It's October 10th. This is a regular meeting of the Bridgewater Township Zoning Board of Adjustment. Both adequate and electronic notice of this meeting specifying the time, place, and manner in which such notice was provided in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-6. Specifically, on April 19th, 2023, proper notice was sent to the Courier News and the Star Ledger on file with the clerk at the Township of Bridgewater and posted on the bulletin board at the municipal building. Please be aware of the Zoning Board of Adjustment policy for public hearings. No new applications will be heard after 9:30 p.m. and no new testimony will be taken after 10 p.m. If you're able, please rise with a salute to the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, Roger. Get a roll call, please. Here.
Here. Here.
Yeah.
Here.
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 I'm here.
All right, thank you very much. At this time, we're going to open up the meeting to members of the public that would like to speak about any land use issue that is not on our agenda this evening. Please come forward. All right, seeing none, I'm going to close that portion. And before we move on, I just wanted to let the board and members of the public know that our township planner and our board planner, Scarlett Doyle, has served her notice. After 22 years with the Township of Bridgewater, she is retiring. She's by far one of my favorite people, and I know we all have wonderful things to say about her, but you'll probably be hard-pressed to ever meet someone that knows more about planning or more about our township than her. I really, truly wish her the best. We will see her before the end of the year, and I want to do something nice for her, and as we approach the end of the year, maybe have a nice cake and some coffee and some tea with her, and we can all wish her well in her retirement.
Do we have a date?
No. Her last day will be
End of the year.
end of the year, and we'll get together, maybe after this meeting, we'll set something up and talk about getting her a nice gift and having some cake with her.
Great. I'd like to echo on what Mr. Fu said. I've worked with her for over 10 years. She's been a terrific asset to the township, and you'll never meet a better person or a planner.
Thank you. All right, next up, we have some board minutes, and Roger, I have found that myself, Wadelli, Sweeney, Bongiorno, Amin, and Vesio are congruent to all the meeting minutes, and they're all going to be eligible. And according to Mr. Aller, we only need one affirmative vote, so we have more than one. So, if there's any changes, comments, I would look for someone to...
I have a question from Mr. Our attorney has to help us with this question. On the July 25th, under the voting, there are 8 names, and usually it's only supposed to be 7 yeses, 7 people voting. Is that correct?
Yes,
I
there would
wanted
have
to
only been
clarify.
7 people voting. There could have been 8 present, but only 7 would have voted.
Yes, only 7. So
Right.
on that particular one, we have to take out one of the names, which is Mr. Vescio's name, that goes into ineligible. Right. That's one of the comments. But I have very small comments here. Roger, you know, we will approve these minutes, and there are some typos that I will go over, and you can mark up. No, I will give it to you, and you, I will give it to you, and you can give it to whoever.
Thank you, Mr.
Yes.
Need a motion, please, to approve May 23rd, 2023, June 27th, July 25th, August 22nd, September 12th, and September 22nd, 2023.
I move.
minutes. Mr. Widely? I second. Mr. Bongiorno, the second.
Okay.
Mr. Fu?
Yes.
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 Next up are resolutions. We've got a handful. We're going to start with the cottages at Martinsville. That's Chimney Rock Road. Looking for changes, comments?
I have one on page 2 for the cottages, just paragraph 2, second line down, where it just says Township Planner Scarlett Doyle and Township Engineer. I'll add Mr. Burr's name in after engineer. Otherwise, that was it.
Great.
I move. We pass it.
Mr. Widely, second?
Bruce?
Thank you, Bruce. Yes.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
All right, next up is Hamaatsu Corporation, 360 Foothill Road. Comments, changes?
Again, I have one at the top of page 7, the first line, where it talks about the irregularly shaped property and the building envelope. The word there is just, there's a typo. It's P-I-A-C-U-L-A-R should be the word peculiar. Yeah.
I move.
Second. Mr. Bonjorno, second? Yes.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
All right. Next up is Kyoto, 74 Sycamore Avenue. Comments and changes?
I have one that's, because I can't read my own writing sometimes, I had the engineer's name as Pablo Lewis instead of Pablo Lemus, L-E-M-U-S. That appears in a few places.
Oh, I see.
Motion?
I move.
Mr. White? Mr. Bonjorno, second? Yes.
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah, I got that too.
All right, thank you. All right, we're going to move on to our applications, and we have Cogan, 55 Northwood Drive. Come on down. Oh, 55 Northwood Drive? It's Avenue?
It's Avenue.
All right.
Mr. Bridgewater caught that.
All right, 55 Northwood Avenue. Good evening.
Good evening.
You are?
My name is Robert Cogan.
Okay.
I'm here with an application submitted for 55 Northwood Avenue.
Okay, so Mr. Cogan, before we get too far, let me just swear you in. Okay?
Perfect.
Do we have other witnesses too? So we have,
I have my architect and my engineer.
You're welcome to have a seat. We can give you a wireless microphone, whatever you want. You can stand there if you want.
It's my first time, if you couldn't tell.
it's fine right there.
Want to make it easy.
Yeah. Wherever you're more comfortable, but I do need to swear you in, okay?
And we're going to check your notice to make sure all your neighbors get notified, and then we'll dig in.
All right, so would you raise your right hand, please? Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you will give to this board will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Okay, and just for the record, would you just state your full name again?
My full name is Robert J. Cogan.
And you are the applicant in this case?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Cogan's notices were in proper form, and it was published timely and served on property owners within 200 feet timely, so the board has jurisdiction.
Great. You want to swear everybody in?
They were busy, I can do them as they
All right,
come
we'll
up.
do them as they come up. All right, good evening, Mr. Cogan.
Good evening.
Can you tell us about your project and who's going to be testifying? And
Sure. So I grew up a couple towns over, Montgomery Township. Recently purchased a property, 55 Northwood Avenue. My intention is to just create a home to hopefully build a family in the next few years. And when I purchased the property, I wasn't very familiar with zoning laws and regulations or the concept of a non-conforming existing structure. So I've retained an architect and a site engineer to help kind of navigate that process with the intention of, really just kind of making the house that I purchased a little bit more habitable, a little bit more living space to accommodate a few more people. I'm unmarried, I don't have any children, but it is I'm being aspirational when I say a few more people.
Be careful, because I bought my home with 5 bedrooms when I was a bachelor, and now it's filled with kids, so it happens before you know it, so watch yourself.
I'll take that into consideration.
Mr. Kogan, do you have the memo from our planner and from our engineer? It's dated October 4th, 2023.
Yes, I should have all appropriate
I don't want
documents.
to tell you how to do your case, but if you kind of stick to this thing and kind of answer the 1 through 7 questions proposed, yeah, that may be one strategy you want to take here.
Okay, do we have a copy of that? I think my architect does.
Yeah, you want to bring them up to do that?
Sure, please, Yuval. Can't tell I'm a bit of an amateur here, so I apologize.
You're good.
Sure. Would you swear, raise your right hand, please? Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you will give to this board will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help?
I do.
And would you state your full name, please?
Yuval, that's Y-U-V-A-L, Wellish, W-E-L-L-I-S-C-H. I'm an architect in the state of New Jersey. License is in good condition and valid. My office is right here, 211 West End, Raritan.
Okay, you just spell your first name for me again, please?
Yuval, Y-U-V-A-L. You use all the vowels in the alphabet and mix them around.
Mr. Willis, you were at our last meeting, correct?
I was.
So this board accepted you at the last meeting, your licenses are in good standing?
Yes.
All right, so this board's going to accept you again. Good to see you.
Thank you. Is this microphone also working?
Oh, and we have a wireless if you like.
This one, if you speak right into it. Microphones. If you want to sit, you're welcome to do that.
It's okay, you can hear me? Okay, so before I go to the questions that are in this paper, I also will give the board a couple of photographs.
And you took these? Why don't you give me 2 and I'll send one down? Yeah.
So, Mr. Wellish, for the record, I've marked this package A1 with today's date, but I need you to just briefly describe what the package is for the record, please.
The package is of, the photographs are of houses in that street and around the corner, all in the same zone. I just wanted to show, because one of the questions in the, from the township was, are there any other 2-story houses? And there are quite a few.
Okay, so I'm just still counting these up, so hold on.
I would like to go over this a little bit later. I want to describe the house.
So that
first.
package consists of 9 photographs, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And each one of them has the address on it. The first one is the house that we're going to renovate.
Sorry, the first one is the applicant's house?
Yes. It says 55 Northwood Avenue on it. Oh, sorry, waiting for me. So, Mr. Kogan here bought the house on 55 Northwood Avenue, obviously without knowing all the limitations, and I'll go over it kind of shortly because the site engineer will go more about the side setback, about all the setbacks and the C variance and the D variance, whatever we have over here. But basically, it's a house of about 1,400, a little bit more square feet, consisting on 1 floor, which has 2 bedrooms, kitchen, a small dining room. I'm going to refer to it right here. 55. Kitchen, bathroom, master bedroom, bedroom number 2. This is dining room, living room combination. The entry is over here with the stairs on the side. If you look at the picture, you can see the red brick over here of the entry. Very big terrace over here, not exactly sure why. A nice bay window in the front, and that's all there is. The second floor is actually one big room, bedroom number 3, and a den over here with the stairs in the middle. All that is sitting on a basement, which is roughly 7 foot high, but can't do anything about that. So the purpose was to make the house a little bit more up to date, and we have to remember that this lot, I mean, when we wanted to renovate it and make it a little bit bigger, we noticed that there are so many things that are blocking our way. Instead of 10,000 square feet, the lot is only 7,500, and instead of 100 feet on the front, we only have 50. So basically, the setbacks that we have today are overlapping almost, and leave nowhere to not legally, but without any variance, to make the house bigger. So the decision was not to make the basement any bigger to the sides or to the front, but try to take advantage of the rear setback, which is plenty, and make the family room over there, which I will show on the plan in a minute, and put a second floor on top. All the bedrooms would be on the second floor, and on the first floor, it will be like a center hall colonial, living room, dining room, family room, kitchen, and a powder room. The front of the house is going to be practically a center hall colonial, only with modern materials, with AZAC, and with hardy plank siding, some of it horizontal, some of it going to be vertical, a little bit of stone on the bottom, just to bring the house more to today's design. But it's very salt boxy, if you want, because we don't want to go any further from that. Couple of dormers in the front, because that neighborhood has a lot of them around, especially in the older houses. Sides are going to be treated just the same. Okay. Here you can see the right side. The rear shows almost looking like the front, with the deck over here and the fireplace over here, fireplace in the family room over here, with the master bedroom right on top. I'll go over the plan of the house, the floor plans, I mean. Instead of having that boring terrace with like straight but sideways stairs, we're going to have a little portico with a small foyer over here. Stairs go up like normal, not from the center of the house. Dining room over here, kitchen over here, dinette over here, with a slider to a deck. And the deck, even though I like to put stone and some plastic on the bottom, is going to be right on dirt, not to increase the lot coverage. Family room in this area, and an office / living room in this area, small powder room over here. You can see that everything is kind of small. The whole house is 2211, which is not the average, but the average of the houses around it is around 2,000. Actually, if you go to the houses along, right in front of my office, on Western Avenue, they're practically that number, almost one by one. The second floor, stairs are coming up. We have one bedroom in the front, second bedroom in the front, master bedroom in the back, with the master closet and master bathroom over here, closet for this bedroom, closet for this bedroom, a bathroom, a whole bathroom, if you will, to serve the other 2 bedrooms, and laundry over here. Everything very simple, nothing outrageous. I mean, if you go, I don't know what the average size of a house in New Jersey is, but 2211 is not big. It's definitely small. We are asking the board for 6 reliefs. I know it's a big number, but out of the 6, practically 4 exist. It's just, we didn't go any further this way, any further this way, a little bit over here, not asking for a front setback relief. That still is fine. The FAR is going up. Let me just see the number.
.29.
Yeah, it's going up, but again, it's not a big house. It's all coming down to the size of the lot, which is only 7,500 compared with the 10,000 that should be there.
Will the garage in the back stay?
The garage will stay untouched.
What's the distance between the back of the new house and the garage?
Okay, I will let the site engineer answer that.
Got it, thank you.
Yes, we got. The one thing that I can say, there's a very long driveway between the cul-de-sac over there and the garage, but that's the way they did it. I mean, I would have loved the garage to be closer so that the lot coverage is okay. But practically, we don't have a problem with that numerically. We're actually reducing the coverage by 2 square feet, which is not a big number, but at least we don't go over it. Sure, go ahead.
I don't know if you, I think you're the right person, but is this going to be a tear down or are you going to
No, no tear down. We're
remodel?
leaving what's there.
The foundation stays.
Foundation stays.
Thank you.
In fact, the foundation is going to be a little bit larger now because the family room going to sit on top, but it's going to be the same height. We're not going to dig under and get on all kinds of structural problems with that.
Can you go to the basement
Yes,
plan?
yes. This is the existing basement.
The basement is not finished, right? I just wanted to clarify, because, otherwise
hear
it
me?
has to be counted.
It's not finished. It stays the same as it is today. Okay, in fact, there's a bathroom over here.
Or you have a bathroom
It's
there?
funny, a toilet that sits in the middle of nowhere, but I'm not sure whether we're gonna use it or not.
That was my question, it's just a toilet thing without any wall.
Nothing, there's no walls around it. It's weird. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Maybe we'll put something
Yeah.
around it, but
You mean to keep?
right now it sits just like that. And this here is an addition, small addition to the basement, and here's the addition where the family room sits on top. This is just for the vestibule in the front of the stairs.
Okay.
So the basement, anything which is white like that exists. Anything that has a hatch in it is new. This is the roof plan, simple roof. Gable over here, couple of dormers over here that actually shed some light into the attic, and that's it. No stairs to the attic.
So do the mechanical equipment stay in the basement, or is it someplace else? The heating system, air conditioning, whatever.
Oh, the heating
mechanical.
system, they're gonna be two,
Is it in the basement, or?
right now it's in the basement, but we're gonna have another one in the attic to take care of the second floor.
Oh, okay. So
Therefore, we're gonna have a pull downstairs for the mechanic.
for the second floor, you're going to add additional equipment like heating, cooling,
In the attic. It's
Yeah.
gonna be placed in the attic,
goes in the attic.
but taking care of the second floor. It's gonna be 2-zone heating and cooling.
Uh-huh, okay.
You said, I have a question. You said there's an extension where the family room is, but I'm looking at the existing plans, it seems there's a sunroom in that same location.
You're looking at the existing.
Right, and there shows a sunroom
Pretty
in the
much the
existing.
same location, yes.
Right, so you're not really extending the home
much.
in that area. So you're just rebuilding the foundation for that, the proper
There's
foundation
actually no foundation under it. I don't know what's holding it, to be honest.
for the sunroom?
Yeah. It's a very flimsy structure, so we're gonna have a brand-new foundation over there.
Okay, so for all intents and purposes, same
If you look at
structure
the-
outline, and then just providing a proper foundation this time.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
If you look at A3, this is the foundation, the new one, over the new family room. Family room over here is sitting, sorry, family room sitting over here is new. You see from the black walls, Everything which is black is new. And it's sitting on brand-new foundation, which is connected to the old one.
So is your side yard setback there the same as what it was?
Same as before.
Right, but that's going up 2 stories there, right?
That is true. Well, the second story is there today, but very small. We're cantilevering to the back and to the front.
Okay, but the center of the house, that second story is or isn't there?
But right
I
now,
thought you
there
were
is,
adding
yeah.
a second.
There is a second floor today, but very small.
Okay, but you're going higher than what the existing second
Yes.
floor is now, correct? In that side yard?
The attic is actually encapsulated in the roof, but the new one is a regular, everyday second floor. But we don't have a height restriction, height problem.
I'm not getting the height, I'm just saying, so you are kind of raising the roof, right? And you're
Brand new
bringing
roof.
that side wall up to the second floor.
Right.
Does that second floor exist on that side of the house now?
Both sides.
It does?
Yes.
Okay.
If you look at the last page, you see the right side of the second floor and the left side of the second floor will stay the same.
Okay,
It's not going to protrude to any side, only this way and that way.
okay.
And these are the two these are the existing, actually.
All right, so I just want to go over the variances with you, because you said 6, and if you're not, 7, yeah, and if you're not impacting that side of the house, is what you're saying?
There's still a variance because the existing house is already in violation.
Yeah, but you're not impacting that wall.
I'm not.
If you were going up, I would tell you that's a variance.
I'm not.
Not going up.
If you look at the table, it says existing condition.
Yeah, I see that. So, but that's why I want to be very clear. That side of the house, and as you're looking at the house, I'm talking about the right side,
Yes,
right? You have your existing first floor and an existing second floor,
yes.
and that exterior shell of the house is not going to change?
No, it's not. But remember, we're getting a new second floor on the same line. The setback stays the same.
Inside. Do you have an elevation you can show me? Yeah.
The house today
Yeah.
is on the same lines. We're not protruding right or left.
I get that, but when I look at what we marked as A1, your first page, right? You have a first floor
Right?
in the picture that I'm looking at,
Yes.
which the applicant said was taken recently by
Yesterday.
you, actually, right? And this is
Yesterday.
this photograph represents what the house looks like today, correct?
Right.
Okay, so when I look at that house, I have a first floor, and then I have a roof above that first floor.
Sure,
Now you're going to go up straight on that front,
sure.
and the same thing on the side,
That's right.
right? Okay, so the elevation, the existing elevation on the house today, the side elevation, and the proposed elevation are different.
Of course, the elevation is different.
That's what I'm getting at. I'm talking about the
Of
wall
course it is, yeah.
for that.
Today, if you look at the house today, the roof is like here somewhere.
Yeah, right. It's a cape, right? I guess?
It's a cape, yeah.
Okay, so you're going to go from that cape and going to turn it into a center hall colonial, so you're going to have
Yes.
walls that go straight up on the second floor. Okay, the reason I say that is you're further impacting the side yard setback by going up, okay? So by
you
doing
wanna
that,
say
I think
that
you have a
way, yes.
side yard variance, all right? It's really not existing, it's existing for the first floor, but it's not existing for the second floor.
Yeah.
All right, so I think you do have a side yard variance because of the modification
We do.
to the second floor.
We do.
Right?
I'm just saying most of it is existing.
Okay, I just want to make sure we're covering all the variances that we're
I
asking for.
understand.
All right, so we have a side yard variance on that side.
Yes.
And we have a combined side yard then, that's
Sure.
kind of calculates out the same, but we have a combined side yard, right? We have the FAR that's increasing to .29 or so.
Right.
What are the others? I mean, the others I don't think are variances, so I'm looking at the chart on the engineer's plan, right? We've got lot area, we're not impacting lot areas. That's just an existing condition that's
Well-
not a variance today. All right? Lot frontage is lot frontage, so that's not really a variance, that's a pre-existing non-conforming.
You have the lot coverage and the FAR, which are D variance.
Yeah, so we have FAR, and lot coverage, you're actually either staying the same, but you reduce, so the math is kind of the
2
same,
feet
but you're
less.
reducing it by 2 square feet.
2 square feet.
Right? All right, I mean, technically, that's a variance, all right? So I think your variances then are your side yard, right? Because you're going to be 5 feet where 15 feet's required, because you're going up on that side, right? Your combined side yard at 12.6, even though the numbers are the same, because we have that second, I
Right.
think that's still a variance. And then we have lot coverage, even though the number's the same, we're reducing it by 2 square
2 feet
feet. So
only, yeah.
technically, it's a variance, I mean, it's a really minor thing. And then the floor area ratio is really the issue, I guess, right? That's the D variance.
Right.
Right, but I don't think you have any others. Unless, we're going to talk about the garage, I suppose. Maybe you have something there.
Well, the garage is presenting the same existing condition.
We're not changing anything. Do we have any history on the garage, like how old it might be? Is it pre-existing?
I'm not
zoning?
sure. Oh, it's pre-existing, but I don't know, when was it built?
Do you know what that is? 1943? Okay. All right, and so as an architect, you looked at the garage, right? And are you able to represent that you think the construction of that garage was built around the same time as the
I would
as
say
the
so.
house? So sometime 1943, which would predate the zone?
Yeah,
I don't know the zone, but,
I would say it's the same time.
all right, okay.
Looks that way.
So we don't really have variance issues with the garage, because it's just pre-existing non-conforming. It is what it is, it's been there.
We're not proposing anything except painting it, and that's
80 years.
what's going to happen.
Okay, so those are the 4 variances then, right?
I would like my friend, the site engineer, maybe to elaborate more on that, so
Okay,
if you have more questions on that.
okay. And you're qualified as an architect, but not as a professional planner, correct? Okay,
But I wanted, because there's no planner, I decided to do that.
okay,
A bunch of pictures, most of them are from the same street, and some of them are on the side
yeah,
street.
you can take us through the pictures, because that would be helpful.
Oh, okay. So the first one is Mr. Kogat's house, and it is what it is. 52 Norwood is almost across. It's a 2-story house. Pretty much siding, no brick. I'm assuming, because I don't know exactly the square footage of the house, is about maybe 1,800 square feet.
So that would be across the street?
Yes, it's
Good
across
thing.
the street. Across the street is also 50 Norwood, which is a little bit bigger, but also 2-story. And I'm referring to 2-story because one of the questions was, are there any other 2-story in the street? It's a brown stucco house. Not exactly my taste, but that's the way it is. There's a 2-family on 208 West End, which is on the corner, on the same side of Mr. Kogan's house.
Just go back one house. So you're trying to put on the record that you feel that 50 Norwood is of similar size to what you're proposing?
Similar, yeah.
Okay.
I can't know exactly because I didn't have time to go to the tax assessor.
No, I understand, but I think the board is trying to get a feel for your
Pretty much the same
application
size.
to make sure that other houses in the neighborhood,
Right.
this isn't going to stand out.
Yes, you're right.
It's your testimony that 50 Norwood is going to be in relative,
Pretty much the same,
Portion.
yeah.
thank you.
Excuse me. The one on the corner, which is the same side where our house is actually a 2-family. I have to say, I never thought it was a 2-family, only yesterday when I got a little bit closer, and I'm looking at this house every day from my window. So that one has a second floor, but pretty much it's an attic, it's like an extended Cape Cod, but still has a second floor. The other corner, it's, I want to say also extended Cape Cod, but much bigger. It's, I would assume it's about 2,000 square feet or so. That's 206 West End Avenue. On the other side of West End Avenue are all two-story houses. That's 204, that's 202, that's 210, and the last one is 212. They're all around 2,000 or so. And they're all two-story, very salt boxy houses. And everybody has siding. There's no like extended stone or brick and so on. So this is why we kept the stone over here to a very minimum.
Question? Did you go in the basement as the architect? Did you look in the basement? Of course. And what kind of material was the foundation? Was it block?
It's block foundation.
It's block.
8-inch block, yeah.
8-inch block. Thank you.
Cinder block, to be exact, not concrete block.
Thank you.
The
We don't use cinder blocks anymore, but that's what it is.
I have a question regarding the siding of the house.
Go ahead.
At present, is it aluminum siding?
What they have now?
Yeah.
No, I think it's vinyl.
So
I can't say, this is probably not the original, but it's vinyl siding.
the question I have is when you raise the building height, will you be matching everything? With the
Absolutely
present-
not. That vinyl is gone. It's going to be
No,
hardy
I'm
plank.
asking your building, your house, when it becomes two-story in height, right? So the lower part is yellow in color, that's what I see, right? So the color and the style will be matching all
I
the
understood
way?
your question. No, that siding is gone. All the siding in the house is going to be new. We don't match anything.
So what will it look like when you,
I'm not
on
sure.
your
what's
front
the confusion.
elevation, let's say, front elevation of the house, right?
Yes. This is the left, but the right is here. This is, the siding in this house is going to be completely new. Nothing to do with the existing.
So when you do the construction, everything will be brand-new siding, that's what you...
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And better quality. We're not going to use vinyl. We're going to use hardy plank, which is like a cementitious material that doesn't rot and doesn't warp.
Okay,
Pretty much you can drill, cut, paint, stain, whatever you want.
okay.
What is the current ceiling height for the building?
8 feet.
And your proposed?
Hold on one second.
And that's for the first floor in particular.
Oh, just one second. We're going to go to 9 feet. But the reason is that the floor on the second floor has to be taken out anyway. It's only 2 by 8s. I'm not sure who asked the question. You did?
That was me.
So it's only 2 by 8s, which is too weak for today's codes. So while we're doing it, all right, we're going to extend the wall 1 foot and put new 2 by 10 floor.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Willett, you've definitely dug into this planner's memo. Basically, you've covered number 1. You've covered number 2, number 3. Your photographs, I think, went towards answering number 4. You know, and that you're not a planner, I don't know if we can get the testimony. I mean, Rich, what's your thoughts here?
Maybe the engineer.
I only meant
Well,
to show that there are other two-story and that the setbacks are kind of similar.
Well, why don't the board will take it under advisement that you're not a planner, but, so the answer to number 4 is?
Again, I can't testify about the other houses. I don't know how far they are from the how the
Okay.
setback is, but
So we'll wait for
look at
the,
it optically, it looks very similar.
All right.
Maybe not 5 feet, but it's like 7 feet maybe.
for number 5, I heard that you're going to keep dirt underneath
Yes.
the deck.
Yes.
Great. Do you want to take a stab at number 6, talk about the runoff? Because our engineer, Mr. Burr, wasn't available this evening, but I'm going to assume that you're going to submit,
I will let Mr. Scott.
we'll let the engineer?
Yes.
Perfect. And then number 7, there's no answer required.
Right.
And then unless you have anything further, I'm going to open it up to members of the public.
Yeah,
You're good?
sure. Any
All right. Board? Good. All right. Members of the public, this is the time where you can ask questions of Mr. Cogan or Mr. Wellish's testimony. Come on down.
If you have to
Please,
come up
please,
here,
come on down, give
please.
us your name and address and ask your questions. Let's just get you into the microphone.
Cheryl Martino. I live at 210 West End Avenue,
Great.
which is a 100-year-old colonial, not a salt box. It sounds beautiful. My only concern is the water runoff with the basement.
That's our,
Even though it's just a tiny bit, obviously that's the whole reason for the.
Right.
And we do get, I don't know if you're, I'm sure you're familiar, I don't know how closely you've looked at the area, but from, let's say, where the diner is, comes straight down, and water doesn't flow up, flows down.
Right.
So it does come right down my driveway. So that's just my consideration. Okay, I just want to express just why I'm here and just say what I'm concerned about. Yeah, and I just don't, I don't know how much more water, we're not close, we're facing West End, so our house isn't right up there. I just don't
how about this?
want our yard to take, I don't think we can take any more water. And so I just wanted that to come
How
to
about we do
attention.
this? Ms.
Sounds
Martinez?
wonderful.
Just enough to water the garden and maybe refill the pool.
Well,
Ms. Martino, so at this time, we have to ask questions, because this is a quasi-legal judicial hearing. So
Okay.
I have to make sure that your questions go towards testimony. There is no testimony yet on the drainage, but I think there will be. So you can come back and ask as many questions as you want, and if you don't like anything that you've been told in testimony, at the end, you can make another comment, and the board can hear that.
probably I will. Okay, thanks.
Got it. All right. Anyone else for testimony from Mr. Cogan or Mr. Wellich? All right, we're going to move on to engineering. We're going to get some testimony. We're going to find more about the water flow. Hi, Mr. Scott. There's a microphone floating around. I think it's in the front. Your choice. You can use the lectern as well. Make sure it's on. All right.
Sounds good. Would you raise your right hand, please? Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you will give to this board will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
And for the record, please state your name.
William Scott, C-O-T-T.
Thank you, Mr. Scott.
And your qualifications?
I am currently a licensed professional engineer in the state of New Jersey. I've appeared before dozens of municipal boards, including this one this past month.
Good to see you again, and we will
Thank you.
accept you. Thank you.
I think you got a pretty good summary of what we're proposing here from Mr. Wellish. I just wanted to reference quickly our site plan, sheet 1. It shows the existing house. And in pink, it shows structures that would be to be removed. Excuse me, to be removed. You'll see the enclosed porch in the back of the house to come off, the enclosed porch in the front, and a portion of driveway pavement that we're proposing to take off. When we go to sheet 2, you can see the proposed addition to the right rear of the house, which is almost identically sized to the porch that was removed. And we see a small addition to the front, which is actually smaller than the portion of the house in the front that was removed. There's also a proposed deck to the back left of the home. To give you a sense of scope as far as size of what we're doing, the actual footprint of the home is only going to increase by just over 200 square feet. Drainage apparently is a concern, certainly. The township recently performed a drainage improvement project up on West Summit, which hopefully will help these properties. This development is proposed no significant, it's actually a minor decrease of impervious coverage. We did propose to create a landscape area and remove some of the driveway pavement. So when viewed as a neighborhood, there's no drainage impact. The homes directly to the left on Lot 11 and Lot 12, they will actually experience a decrease in runoff as we're proposing to connect all of the roof drains to the inlet in the front of the house.
They're not connected now?
Only the front of the house is connected now. The rear discharges to grade and flows directly to the rear yard of Lot 11 currently. With respect to some of the variance questions, in the surrounding 200 square feet, 200 feet, we have 9 houses that exist on lots of 50-foot width. We know that a 40-foot combined setback is required. So by default, those 9 houses would have side yard variances. The deck is proposed with no stone or plastic underneath it, so it would be counted as an impervious structure. There's also a small portion of the existing driveway which encroaches onto Lot 12, and we're proposing to remove that.
Mr. Scott, is it your professional opinion that the drainage and stormwater management of this application is going to be a net improvement versus the existing?
Certainly for the directly adjacent properties, it would be an improvement.
Would applicant be willing to stipulate to submit a stormwater approval plan to our township engineer?
Certainly.
So that's going to be a condition of approval. Any other board questions? You good? Yeah, I'm good. All right, Mr. Scott, if you're done, I'm going to open it up to members of the public that would like to ask questions on your testimony. Yeah, come on up. Just your name and address again for
Joe
the record.
Martino, 210 West End Avenue.
Thank you.
I think I heard this, that answered the question, but the drain that's existing now, that's kind of flooding us out.
Just speaking to the mic.
Okay, the drain that's existing now, that's kind of, it's pumping quite a lot of water. Must be a lot of water in the basement. It sounds like that's going to disappear. That's the one that's directly in the back, on the back of the house, and that's pumping onto the driveway, which is tilted towards us because that's the way the property is.
Sounds like your house is downgrade.
That's the way it goes, yeah. So it sounds like, if I'm correct, that won't be there, right? Is that correct? And it'll be coming from, it'll be going to the front, which is an incline and won't affect me. Is that correct?
So currently, we're proposing to hook up the roof drains from the rear of the house, which currently dump on the pavement, to the inlet in the front. We'd be happy to also connect the sump pump discharge, so it's directed into the storm sewer system.
Because that's what's flooding us.
Is that good?
Our backyard, it's not flooding, I don't want to use the word flooding, but it's standing puddles for a couple days when it's a heavy rain.
Yes, certainly, I noticed that when I inspected the property. The water just,
Before you go, the township engineer is going to review this entire plan. If he has a problem with it, it's going to go back to the applicant, so they can't do anything until that plan is approved. So they can't start building until your house is protected.
So when I read the paperwork, it said there was no change to the driveway, and that seems like that would have, that's a problem, so, okay.
That's our
thank you.
number one
That's great.
concern, is that the neighborhood is protected from wastewater, drainage water.
Mine too.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other members of the public?
Mr. Chairman, I have a question.
Please, Mrs. Amin.
I'm looking at your drawing, the second drawing, and it says existing paved driveway, and it continues to the side of the house, to the back. So I'm looking at only 7 feet, 6 inches wide. Is that enough for any car to go through? I mean, 7 feet, 6 inches from the property line to the house?
If they're very careful, yes. Certainly, we would prefer a greater space than that.
So do you park anything in the garage, or is it just used for storage?
Very carefully. That's, I'm hoping to just maybe get a little bit better at driving past this house, but as Mr. Scott said, we can get back there absolutely, but you just have to drive very carefully. Thankfully, I don't drive very hard.
I took my Chevy Silverado in the backyard, or on the driveway, so it can be done.
Okay, that's what I wanted to clarify, it gets a little wider in the back, but,
There's a pin. You're right. You have to, once you get through it,
good.
Right, anyone else? Engineering testimony questions? Members of the public, questions? Rich, you're good? I'm good. All right, Mr. Scott, Mr. Cogan, unless you have anything further, you're welcome to wrap up, and we can start deliberations, and see what the board's going to say here.
Nothing further.
Nothing further? You're
Closing arguments. I hope you guys can see that it was really important for us to not go outside of the bounds, really see how we can maximize the existing footprint while, just making it a little bit more livable, a little bit more roomier, but we very intentionally did not want to increase the envelope or the footprint. The sunroom, I think we hit it on the head. We really just wanted to turn that into part of the house, not extend it all the way to the other side. So it was absolutely my intention to kind of maximize what we had there without proposing anything that was just outrageous.
You're better at this than you thought. That was good closing. Thank you very much. All right, members of the public that would like to speak for or against this case, come on down. All right, seeing none. Rich, why don't you take us through the variances and the stipulations?
Okay, so I think there are 4 variances. One would be the side yard as you're looking at the house on the right side at 5 feet, where 15 feet is required. And I think that is a variance because they are raising up that wall to go at least a little bit higher and kind of square it off. So there's a further intrusion, if you will, into that side yard. Same thing with the combined side yard setback. Even though the math stays the same, it's a variance. It's also a variance for minimum lot coverage, which is, the numbers are staying the same, but they are actually reducing the square footage of lot coverage by 2 square feet. It's rather minor. And the big one is the D variance for floor area ratio, which will be going from 19.5% or 1,463 square feet to 29.5%, which is 2,211 square feet when the house is done. If the board votes in favor, there were a couple of additional conditions beyond our standard conditions. One would be that the deck will be constructed with dirt under the deck so as not to increase any impervious coverage. And the other would be that there would be a stormwater plan submitted to the township engineer for approval. You have to do that before any construction permits would be issued. And as part of that, the roof drains and the sump pump would be connected to the street stormwater system, again, subject to the township engineer's approval. That's it.
All right, thanks, Rich. Riley, your thoughts, please.
Just a couple thoughts here. First of all, I thought you put together a real nice package, and you really did a nice presentation with you and your group there, even though it was your first time speaking. You did terrific. I'm glad that you came to Bridgewater, you want to build, and you're really not asking for a lot when you look at this whole thing. You're really just looking to have more space without keeping it, and I think you gave a lot of thought on how to do this. So just in general, I'm all in favor of it. I have no objection. No one here is objecting to it.
Thank you. On to Mr. Lespiza, good to see you.
Thank you, Jeff. Yeah, I think this is a fairly easy one. I think if we were talking about a 10,000 square foot lot, we wouldn't even be here. We wouldn't need the FAR. And for me, that I think is a deciding factor. And if the drainage is going to get somewhat better, I think then I don't see any reason to have a problem with this application. I'll vote yes.
Mrs. Amin.
Yeah, it's a simple variance application, and the way I look at it is like, there are other houses which are similar in this area, so I'm in favor of approving the application.
I think it's going to be a very nice house. I think it's going to be a large house for one person until you get your family together or you create a family. I think you put a nice presentation together. I'm in favor of the applicant, and I would support a yes vote.
I'm in favor of this. I believe the house, the visually will improve the neighborhood, so I think that's great. It sounds like the water runoff issues will be taken a look at further and addressed so that it'll be less than what it currently is. So I would be in favor. Just one thing that maybe I want to mention, about maybe keeping the existing foundation. I've seen like another house built somewhere where they kept the existing foundation, and it wasn't maybe necessarily up to, structural, I don't know how to say it, but it wasn't necessarily structurally sound, and they kept it, and they had issues with it later. I don't know if that's something you've considered, changing the foundation, but, other than that, I have no other issues.
That was definitely a concern when I was going through the planning process, and I had several engineers come to make sure that this house wasn't going to fall down around me a year after I moved in. And there are a couple of issues that we're going to address just as a safety precaution to really shore it up. But that was a huge concern I had when I was just looking to purchase the house.
Sure.
And you're going to have inspections, so it's not going to be an issue. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Kulak.
Yes, I would support this application. It's consistent with the neighborhood in which it is. It also is a definite improvement from the existing structure. So visually, we have something far more appealing, much more livable for future use as well. So I think overall, given the drainage issues that were cited, it's something that we should approve. Thank you.
Mr.
I'm in favor of this application. The overall pervious coverage is relatively the same, so I'm very happy to see that. I definitely want to see the sump pump connected to the inlet that goes out to the street, because you are building a basement here, so you're obviously going to increase, the amount of water you'll be pumping out. So, that definitely has to happen. I'm in favor of all. Thank you.
I'm just going to fill in some gaps very quickly, because there was no planner that testified, on the D variance and the FAR, the D4. On the positive criteria, I do think the site can accommodate the problems associated with the greater FAR. On the negative criteria on that balancing test, there's no substantial detriment to the public good. It's clearly not out of character in the neighborhood. And I certainly don't think there's any impairment with the intent or the purpose of our township's zoning plan. I think it's a great project. I wish you the best of luck. And I'm going to open it up to a motion to approve based on the will.
I'll make the motion.
That was Mr. Liss. Second, Mr. Wiley. Mr. What? Mr. Lespiza made the motion. Yes.
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 Yes?
Yes.
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 Good luck to you, Mr. Kogan. Get that stormwater plan into the town, and you can get the ball rolling.
Thank you so much.
You're quite welcome. Thank you for an excellent application. Good night. All right, our next meeting I have is October 24th. I talked to Scarlett today, and right now, there is nothing on that agenda. There may be something on that agenda, but right now, it's kind of up in the air. So our next scheduled meeting, until we hear otherwise, is 7 PM in this room, October 24th. And Rich, unless you have
That is
anything further?
Somerville lumber application?
Say it again?
Somerville lumber,
Somerville Lumber is going to be in November.
November, oh, okay.
We do have to announce that, though,
Is
when
there-
we get to whatever that other extended date was?
Yes.
October
October 24th.
24th?
October
Okay. So if there's
24th,
no
that's what
meeting
said.
on the 24th, we should make sure we post it on the door.
Absolutely,
That
yep.
that application is being carried to November, whatever the November
Okay, their
date
attorney
is.
did ask for a meeting in November, if I'm understanding
He
that.
did.
Actually,
He
yes,
did.
yes.
Yeah, but when they were here, when,
Even though the minutes say that they sent a supplemental letter.
In
yeah,
the
they've sent a
minutes, it
letter
is-
since then.
Oh,
Yeah, they asked
you have-
to move it into November.
Oh.
So since we announced the continued hearing to be October something, at that October 24th meeting, we should announce it at that meeting that it's being carried again to November, whatever it's being carried to. And if we don't have a meeting on October 24th, we should post it on the door.
Okay. Well, as of right now, 7 PM, October 24th, and October is our next meeting. All right, nothing on there. So, get a motion to adjourn, please.
I move.
All right, Mr. Wiley and Mr. Bongiorno. Thank you, everyone. Great meeting, have a good evening.
You want to talk about Scarlett now, or
Sure.
what do you want to do, and when do you want to do it?
Do it at our last December meeting.
Let's do it